What is up, guys? How's everybody doing? Welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. Just a couple of news reports I want to go over with you guys. 3 to be exact. Good to see everybody. Oh, this coffee's freaking fogging up my glasses here. There we go. Much better. What's up, Redfoot? Yeah, you are early. What are you up to on this fine Sunday? Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. Everything seems fine on my end. Hey, what's up, Marbles? Well, feeling good enough to have a coffee. It's a big one, too. I didn't make it strong or anything. What's up, Chopper? Good to see you, my friend. What's going on, Mama? So what's the word, guys? What's the word on the streets? Good to see you, Jill, CJK. Danielle, how you doing? Silas. Phil, good to see you. TTM. Pot roast Sunday? Is that what today is? Love a good pot roast. Do you guys like it bloody in the middle at all or no? I don't. Pyrus, how you doing? Thank you for the input. Thank you, Silas, as well. Having a coffee. Went on my walk this morning. No morning bong rips. We'll save that for later today. Went on a 2-mile walk. Had a healthy breakfast. I'm feeling good today. And the weather is changing. Which is always nice, right? Hey, what's up, Melissa? Charlotte 9-year-old went missing at Moreau State Park. 15 minutes. We go there all the time in the summer. Well, that's horrible. I hope they can find her. Do they know what's going on with the case? Do they believe she was kidnapped or what? Julia? Oh, my mug? My tough mug? Hugs. We like to do hugs around here. Got an Amber Alert this morning. Wow, that's so scary. Pray for their family. They must be going through hell. Hopefully they can keep it together. Ooh, the crock pot. Yeah, I don't know if you can control whether or not it's red in the middle if you throw it in the crock pot, right? Still good, though. Pyra says, yep, no smoky. Well, I didn't smoke this morning, not because I had self-control. I just don't like the brand that I have. Seems old. Kind of musty. It's really strong, but I'm going to go get me some new shit. Something fluffy. What's going on, Bass Girl? Yeah, I'm feeling good. Been working out. Spent 30 minutes on my punching bag. Ooh, I can knock a motherfucker out right now. Just like feeling strong. Just don't hit me back. Hey, what's going on, Howard? Welcome. Oh no, it's confirmed that she was kidnapped. All right. Known sex offenders in the area. They need to go there first. Who was in that park? Who saw? What did they see? Any cameras? Anywhere nearby coming and going? Oh yeah, she's definitely in danger. Especially after viewer discretion is advised on today's live stream. It's all crimes against children and it's some pretty awful stuff. I don't have a whole lot of information today. I'm hoping that you guys can help me as we kind of go through the live stream. But I think the main story we're going to finish with is what you saw on the thumbnail. Satanic neo-Nazi pedophile cult that ensnared New York City man arrested on gun charges. So yeah, this guy is a part of many groups, and they're all evil. We're going to talk about some of those groups today. One of the stories I have will be connected to one of those groups, and the other one is out of Las Vegas from July of this year, where they basically rescued a whole, I think, 7 children from some husband and wife. They were basically leaving them in dog kennels and torturing them. So we'll probably start with that. Hey, what's up, Cheeks? How you been? What is new? Damn, bird brain. Taco soup sounds bomb. You gonna put the little chips in there? Yeah, lots of love. Lots of I loves you, lots of kisses, lots of hugs. And that's not even the kind of person I am. But with my family, I feel I need to be. Truthfully, I'm a cold hearted son of a bitch. But with God's help, anything is possible. Yes, can Google it. Charlotte, 9 years old, Moreau State Park. I'll do that, Melissa. Okay, I think I found it. So I'm going to share it with you guys here. This is from the Daily Gazette. Amber alert issued for girl 9 missing at Moreau State Park in Saratoga County. Can you guys see that okay? Age 9, white, hair blonde, height 5'1", 90 pounds. Charlotte was last seen on Lupe in the Moreau Lake State Park in the town of Moreau, Saratoga County, at approximately 6:15 p.m. on Saturday, September 30th. Charlotte was last seen wearing an orange tie-dye Pokemon shirt, dark blue pants, black Crocs, and a gray bike helmet. Yeah, guys, this is not good. Here, let's zoom in right here. God, my stomach hurt. That poor kid. So if anybody's seen anything, any strange people that day, thanks for sharing that information, Melissa. So if you guys want to screenshot this, here, let me zoom out a little bit so you can get it good. Oops. There you go. Yeah, it kind of smells like mold, and it kind of gives you that headache like it's mold. And remind me to put that back up later in the show. I mean, this is very recent. She went missing yesterday, so they might be able to find her, maybe traveling or something like that. Keep your eyes open. Nice. Yeah, I do all the grilling. But I mean, my wife is a great cook. She's always cooking. The house smells great all the time. When I come down the stairs, I'm just like, "Ah, I am a blessed man." I found some flour on the table under the placement. Yeah, I find nugs. If I look down on my floor right now, I bet you there's just nugs everywhere. I just don't care. I smoke so much weed. I always have. Because if I don't, I'm just kind of like, what do they call that? Resting bitch face? Where you're just like, what's wrong with you? Nothing. Why you look like that? It's just how I look, bro. It's my face, man. What's wrong with your face? Hey, what's up, Beach Fairy? Welcome, welcome. Oh yeah, taco soup sounds bomb. Yeah, Marbles, that is in New York. Some ziti. Ooh, I like ziti. Yeah, I was watching some videos of New York and they're flooded. That shit's crazy. They'll probably try to call it climate change. Yeah, Nazis altogether are just no good. It's a cult. It's a satanic cult, is what it is. Hey, what's up, Microwave and Baby Doll? What's up, guys? Feel like I haven't seen you in a while, dude. Barbecue pulled pork, Babs French fries, and coleslaw. Damn. I really can't mess with that kind of food anymore, though. I gotta stay away from that animal fat. Man, I was so grumpy yesterday. That's why I really didn't go live yesterday. I spent 7 hours making that Delphi video, and then I was just like, just irritated all day. Because what I really want is like a big fat carne asada burrito with just meat and cheese, and then some really hot salsa, and just drench it. But I can't because I'm unhealthy and I have high cholesterol. I'm gonna have a heart attack. Damn Mexican DNA. Got lard flowing through my blood. All them damn homemade tortillas. Hey, what's up, D? Skipped right over you. How you doing? Hey, Mandy. Good to see you. Hope everything's good with you. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. Some creepy shit. But first, let's get into this. This is out of Las Vegas. This was earlier. Um, I think July. So when I catch up on the chat, we're gonna take a look at this disturbing footage here. Ooh, that's loud. Let me turn that down first off. Okay, that's better. Yeah, what you guys are about to watch is very disturbing. Very disturbing. Yeah, all the prayers for that young lady. Nobody who takes a young girl like that has any good intentions, guys. Keep your eyes open. They could be anywhere. We know these creeps like to travel, all right? But in this case, it's probably somebody local. Or maybe it's one of these damn cults. Yeah, I just feel like a dog and another friend is just not enough these days, right? You got to pack some heat, guys. Pack a big can of mace. Mace is very effective. Remember one time I got in a bar fight and this guy maced me? Man, he got me. He if I wouldn't have got a hold of him, man, he would have done some damage on me. Got me with two clean ones. Boom. Good thing I got this big old head. I might be a little guy, but I got a giant freaking head. And it ain't because I got a big old brain, it's because my skull is thick. But yeah, ladies, get yourself a can of mace and a nice concealable little pistol, something you're comfortable with. When you get home, put it away. Cheek says, this is the first I've heard of this case. Pretty sad, just north of Albany, looks like. Hope she just got lost or something and can be found fast. I don't know. I'm getting Evansdale vibes off this one, guys. She must have been on a bike. You know, on a bike, you can get away from your parents pretty quickly, and it only takes a second. Hey, what's up, Sparky? Green silly, silly green chili. Green chili soup is yummy. Yeah, we just made some green chili enchiladas. Actually, that's what I'm gonna have for leftovers for lunch here in a minute. Cheek says, "Hope they have good cameras. Looks like there are only a few ways into the park." Yeah, I'm gonna look more into that case and see if we can somehow try to help. Since it just happened, you know, it's possible she's traveling. If you can get her face out there, it's possible they'll find her. To me, it's all about awareness. First, you have to be aware before you even know something's wrong so that you can do something. Marble says olive oil instead of lard. Yeah, and it's not. Well, I made some good beans the other day. Well, my wife did. She made them healthy for me. But anytime you're eating meat, other than like chicken and fish and turkey and stuff like that, it's just naturally that grease is in there. And that grease isn't good for me. Lady Monet, what's up? Hi, Sleuth. Now that Brooks Hewitt was arrested for Crystal Rogers, which is amazing, and that's we were just covering that case, and we were talking about how effed up that case is, and how guilty that son of a bitch looked. And when he's talking in that interrogation, man, these cops, these investigators have so much patience. Because I mean, I would have strangled that motherfucker. I would have grabbed him by his throat. I mean, you could just tell he's lying. You can just tell. Are you going to dive into the murder of the police officer Ellis from that area? Yeah, we might look into that. We were going to go do a kind of a dive into the murder of Crystal's father, which is tied into that, I think. So maybe we can combine that, cover both of that. But yeah, I am get. Are you reading my mind? Yeah, don't worry about that. Be patient. Yeah, but good call. I am putting some stuff together for that. Very interesting. And shout out to those investigators for getting that arrest done, putting the cuffs on that piece of shit. Because he most likely had something to do with the murder of a police officer and Crystal's father. We're talking about a bad man here. And I'm not talking about a bad man. I'm talking about a bad man, a coward, a piece of shit. CJK, Sleuth of Special Quesadilla, where it's deep fried and gets puffy. That sounds like fry bread. You can do that to a tortilla and it gets all bubbly. You can make what's called Navajo tacos. And I have Apache and Navajo blood. I have Viking blood, Navajo blood, Apache blood, and Aztec blood. I'm a warrior mutt. Oh yeah, wasp spray. Will that do it? I know you got some distance on that shit. Get some bear mace. But yeah, it's a good idea. Wasp spray. I've had to run up on a couple hives with that shit. Run in and run out. Because one time I was doing yard work and there was a hive. Is it the yellow jackets that are in the ground? Well, I was trimming these bushes in the front yard, and all of a sudden I just felt all these little these things were like bumping into me. It felt like somebody was shooting me with like an airsoft gun, or like a Nerf gun. It was just hitting me, boom, 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 boom. It was a whole swarm of yellow jackets, and these sons of guns they will land on you and they'll just keep stinging you over and over and over. So they got me good in the face, a couple times in the arm, and then in my foot. My whole shit was fucking swolled up like this, guys. It was crazy. I looked like I had a tumor or something. I don't know, Brian. We're gonna look at that case though. It sounds like they were just at the park, a young girl riding around on her bike. The parents probably started having a conversation, looked over, where are they? Oh, we'll find her in a second. Before you know it, you're living a real nightmare. I mean, there's some of these kidnappers will come up and try to take your child right while they're next to you. They will literally walk with you and then kind of trick the child to walk the other way. Or from a distance, they'll kind of do that. Hey, come here, and they'll have like a puppy or something in their hand. There's just something about this kind of evil that preys on that kind of innocence. Hey, what's up, Grizz? They call me the big head. Yeah, you guys should measure around your head, and then I'll measure around my head, and we'll see whose head's the biggest. I've never found anybody with a bigger head than mine. Even my friend who's 6'6". His fucking hands are bigger than my head, but his head isn't bigger than my head. I don't know what's going on. It's like God thought I was special and wanted to give me one of those helmets. We're going to need a helmet for this little guy. He's special. Hey, what's going on, sweets? Okay, so we're going to shoot the shit for another 5 minutes and then we're going to get into it. I wanted to go live and talk with you guys yesterday, but I was in such a shitty mood. I was like, I can't go on there and be all grumpy and start yelling at everybody. Sweet says her bike was found inside the park. Yeah, that's just like Evansdale. Was it on the ground or did it look like somebody kind of staged it? Get that silly chili. Trademark. Don't be stealing my ideas. Speculation. I see what you're up to. Better not turn on the TV and see a commercial for silly chili. And that smile right there up on that screen. I want my 10%. Sealess, I love Mexican food. I used to live in Mexico City. Oh, you were getting the real shit. Mexico City's a nice place. It's pretty big. Actually, it might be the biggest city in the world now that I think about it. State girl's name? What do you mean? Oh, you mean like to state it? Well, we just had it up on the screen. Go Google it and get going. Share that if you can. That poster. Speculation just started using olive oil for everything. Yeah, she was abducted yesterday from the park. She's wearing a tie-dyed Pokemon shirt, blonde hair, 90 pounds. She was wearing a bike helmet. Monroe, New York. Or is it Moreau? Can't remember. We'll put it back up on the screen here in a minute. Sorry about that. Something caught my attention. Oh, she was camping. Yeah, that's not good. Well, he's just cocky, Mandy. The way he was talking to his brother on the phone in that interview was just made my skin crawl. Well, we're going to get into a couple cases. The one we're going to look at here is out of Las Vegas from July of this year. Let's go ahead and jump into that now. I don't think I'm going to be able to catch up on the chat. Oh, I haven't heard of that one, lady. What's the victim's name in that case? Sparky, I've got some bear spray and some mace. Yeah, don't be afraid to put the whole can in somebody's eyelids. Yeah. And when they're down on the ground, just walk up and be like, "Argh." Shit, start spraying it in their mouth. It's not going to kill them. Yeah, Beach Fairy. And the thing is, those laws only work for people that, follow the rules. So even right now, if they outlawed guns in my country, I'm still carrying a gun. There's nobody out there looking out for you. Nobody's, and the government's not going to take care of you. If anything, they're trying to get rid of your ass. You got to protect yourself. All right. So once again, this is out of Las Vegas, July. Viewer discretion is advised.
Dramatic and disturbing videos showing Metro Police rescuing 6 children from this apartment, 2 of them locked in a cage. The child abuse so severe, it's difficult to watch.
It is a story the 8 News Now investigators broke. David Charnes first obtaining evidence at the center of this horrific case.
And tonight, Vanessa Murphy continues our coverage with exclusive interviews with both parents from behind bars. Now, we do want to warn you, the video in the story is of a sensitive nature.
Oh, baby, come on. Okay, sweetie. Okay, sweetie. 2 children locked in a cage. The beatings and starvation so obvious. This boy can barely walk.
Oh my
Metro
God.
Police discover he's one of 6 children, age 11 and younger, left alone inside this Las Vegas extended stay unit. Their father and stepmother arrested.
I'm innocent, and I wouldn't like to continue this interview without my lawyer.
Travis Doss had agreed to an interview with us.
Why did you think it was okay to put 2 children in cages?
I don't think you heard me. I said I'm innocent, and I would like my lawyer to be present.
But Doss already admitted to the abuse in detail to police, according to this arrest report. Now he's charged with 42 felony counts.
He's just scared now because of all the time he's facing.
Most of them for child abuse, a couple for sex trafficking his wife, Amanda Stamper.
I was dealing with a monster.
Stamper is charged with 7 counts of child abuse, 1 for each child, including the daughter she shares with Doss.
Are you guilty of those charges?
No.
Did you ever previously try to get the children help?
No, because I was scared of what he would do, his retaliation.
She says Doss
So you were more scared for yourself than you were your own children.
Has had custody of his 6 children, and abuse escalated over the past year, with Doss forcing her to sell sex, beating the children, and withholding food as punishment.
One of the boys
is bad.
Had no shirt on and had many injuries that did not just happen. These were injuries that happened over time. Were you part of that abuse? Did you witness that abuse?
No.
I don't trust her. She doesn't have a truth-telling style.
His father would, I was abused as well, not just them, but he would use like my children and my family. Like if I was to ever call the police, like he would go find my family and my kids. He's just a really violent person.
Were you aware that 2 children were locked in a cage?
That's why I called the police.
Stamper called 911 from the Walgreens across the street.
And I just wanted them to be safe in the end, and I wanted everybody out of it. I just wanted him incarcerated.
To prosecutors, Stamper should have protected the children sooner.
I'm sorry, but I didn't do it.
You're talking about the fear that you felt about him, and I keep thinking, if you felt that way, how did those babies feel?
Oh, I know they were terrified.
So terrified, the children were afraid to open the door for about 10 minutes, moments before being rescued.
Do you think that those children can ever recover from this?
I pray they do.
We're going to get you some help, and this is not going to happen again.
Vanessa Murphy, 8 News Now.
How do you marry a man like that? I mean, it's not like when you met him, he like had his kids in his hands and he's like, you know, at the pizza place, giving them tokens and having a great time, you know, out for the day, having a good time. Oh, we met at a bowling alley. He was there with his whole little family. Such a sweet guy. No, this guy was bad news when you met him. And you married this person. Seven and 5/8. That is, we might have some challengers in here, guys. It's a pretty big dome. Hey, there's my guy Richard. What's up? How you doing today? How's your Sunday going? All right. So what do you guys think about this son of a gun? I don't want to curse too much, even though that's what I feel like doing. I think I have part of the 911 call. Why is he going to come after you? Stamper says, because he told me he was going to kill me today. He already beat the kids up, and I am terrified. He's beating your child up? The kids at the apartment. He's super violent to all of them. How many kids do you have? I have one child with him, but he has 6 other kids on his own. But this is the situation. He's already been doing this for like weeks, so finally left. But he's like very manipulative. So why didn't you just take all the kids and leave? You just left and when it called police? I don't know. Maybe she was traumatized. I'm not sure. Yeah, I guarantee this guy's a murderer. Anybody that can do that to his own children, he's a killer. Killer, rapist. I mean, that's all on the same level. Do you see that poor kid's back? It was awful. Hey, Colette, what's up? Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this story here. Now, the first time I seen this story, I think it was can't remember who reported on it first. But I think this was the best article here. I think it's the New York Times. Okay, so this is Angel Almeida. And he was basically arrested for a gun charge. And then sometime following that charge, an investigation was started. And they uncovered this huge satanic pedophile cult. And he's from Queens, New York. Pequenope. This video is just a true crime mashup. Just to hang out, see how the crew's doing. But this is the story I really wanted to talk about. And then I have another story that is related to this. Speculation. I have a taser that I never use because I always end up pressing the button and scaring the crap out of myself. And honestly, those things are not that effective. When I was younger, we bought one from a gun show because you only had to be 18 at the time to, get your hunting rifle, shotgun, or a taser or something strange like that. So there was one for like $40. I bought it, and me and my friend, we would tase each other with it just to see how strong it was. And it would kind of make you flex your muscles. And if you weren't like balanced at the moment, you could fall. But really, it's not going to stop you. So I don't know if it's as strong as those guns that the police have where they tase you. Taser gun. So notice the black painted fingernails. We've seen that before, right? Looks like he's smoking crack. He made a covenant in blood. Thank you, Monet. Kathy Netherland and her daughter Samantha. Mandy, what the fuck is wrong with people? They're evil. They're just pure evil. Yeah, they took the dog out of the cage and put that poor boy in there. Did you see his back? I mean, he had scars that were, look, years old. And then new ones on top of him. Oh, yeah, she was lying for sure. I didn't trust her. Because every time the reporter asked her a question, she would hesitate. She didn't say, oh, well, I know, the courts are going to realize that I was also a victim. That's not what she was saying. Yeah, you got to be brave. Especially if you love your children. Oh, yeah, her hair was done, huh? Well, he's sex trafficking her. So he might want to have her hair done. So I think the courts are going to have to decide what was going on with her. She could be a victim. But from just listening to her, it didn't sound like she was being honest. But she did call the police, so got to give her credit for that. She may be being groomed. All right, so let's get into this article. Let me pull up the article and then I'll leave those images up for you guys. What the hell? Oh, there we go. Okay, so satanic pedophile cult uncovered by the FBI after an arrest of a Queens man 2 years ago is an offshoot of a much older neo-Nazi organization that wants to destroy Western civilization, according to an overseas nonprofit that has been tracking the hate group. Federal authorities stumbled upon a newer group, which is named 764, and I couldn't really find anything right on the surface from this group, but goes by a number of aliases. While investigating Angel Almeida, a 23-year-old convicted felon from Queens who was busted with a gun in November of 2021, the loosely organized commune of creeps appears to be intensely interested in targeting kids on the internet, then threatening, intimidating, or blackmailing them into recording acts of self-mutilation, animal abuse, sex acts, and even their own suicides. And we've seen the animal abuse. We've covered that. They call it crushing. There was a big case out of Kokomo, where online sleuths actually solved the crime. They all they needed was a tattoo on the perp's left hand of a butterfly, I think. That's all they needed. They got the job done and they got her arrested. And it was very similar to like a CSAM operation, but instead of CSAM, it was what they called animal crushing. They would kill animals live on camera, and people would get sexual gratification from it. You guys, there's a lot of sick stuff going out there. You got to open your eyes. But sources told The Guardian that 764 is an outgrowth of an older, larger organization known as the Order of Nine Angles. 9 angles, that sounds like 3 triangles, and every triangle has a 60-degree angle. That's why they use the triangle to represent Satanism, because with 60-degree angles, that's 666. And in a lot of um, these satanic cults or these kind of bastardized beliefs, the 6 is interchangeable with the 9. That's what they like to do is flip things upside down. Okay, the group commonly referred to as O9A believes the West Judeo Christian heritage corrupts modern society. According to the ISD, an independent nonprofit human rights organization based in London, as such, it wants to replace the current order with the new imperial order based on fascism, social Darwinism, and Satanism, the institution wrote. And that's pretty much what's happening right now in our society. That's where we're headed. These guys are just doing it in the open. O9A followers are encouraged to commit random acts of extreme violence, sexual assault, and the culling of human victims to accelerate the breakdown of current Judeo Christian Western system, the ISD said, adding that the group's ideology has become more influential among neo Nazi circles in recent years. So remember, a lot of these people, they're not Nazis, they're not Satanists, they're not into Odinism, they're not. What they're into is anything bad. If it's bad, they'll do it. Smoking crack is bad, let's do it. Racism bad, I'm into it. Human sacrifice, really bad, let's do it. Any depravity, any deprived act. It's interesting concoction of racism and sex. Rick Allen Ross, a cult expert and author of Cults Inside Out, How People Get In and Can't Get Out, told the Post on Thursday. It's a hate group. It's a neo Nazi. It's predatory. He continued, it's an interesting hybrid. The group was formed in the early 1970s by British neo Nazi David Myatt, whose teachings include aeonics, or the belief that each human civilization corresponds to a certain time period. Myatt's followers believe the current world order will crumble, only to be replaced by a militaristic Nazi revival society called the Imperium, the ISD said. After the Imperium, they believe another eon will eventually lead to the Aryan race colonizing outer space. What the freak? These guys are nuts. That's probably the meth fueled cult. But standing in their way are the pillars of Western society, namely Judeo Christian values, racial equality, human rights, democracy, capitalism, among other things. Oh, you mean civilization? Okay. The group believes those values must be demolished before the white supremacist vision can take shape, according to the ISD. Sounds like the Democratic Party. O9A shares many beliefs with accelerationist groups, including the perception that Western society is decadent, anti Semitism, the lionization of Nazis, and the desire to bring about social collapse, the Institute wrote. That sounds a lot like Helter Skelter. You guys remember Charles Manson? The twisted philosophy hit a lull in the 1990s and early 2000s before its adherents took a social media sometime around 2008. Okay, let me catch up on the chat and we'll finish the article. Yeah, she's going to get charged. True crime and other stuff. Good to see you. How does he have all those kids? Are they her kids? 6 are his and 1 they share. It's like, why do you even? I don't. There's no explanation for that kind of evil, guys. There's no way to explain it. She left my arse where I was and made me learn my lesson. The good old days. Yeah, she's locked up, Boston. Right, Elisa? Elisa Lynn says, if someone laid a hand on my children, they better not go to sleep that night. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, you think it's okay to hit my children, beat them, and put them in a kennel? Well, you got to go to sleep at some point. That's when you get the shovel. Whack. Give them a little nose job. Yeah. I didn't get good vibes from that woman. But deep in my heart, I feel bad for her because I don't know what actually is happening. But I just don't see there should never be an escalation of child abuse. You know, when you see the abuse, that's it. You call the cops and you remove the child. You don't say, "Oh, well, if you get worse, if you start putting them in kennels and burning cigarettes out on their back, then I'm going to do something." The punching, the hitting, the humiliation, all that stuff, that's okay. But if it gets any worse, I'm going to do something about it. So I had to have a starting point, right? Yeah, speculation. That's kind of what's happening right now. You get that weird feeling, and it kind of starts at your throat and goes all the way down to your belly button. Yeah, it makes no sense. Yeah, he was skin and bones too. So not only was he torturing kids in the first story we pulled up, but it seems like he was starving them. Yeah, this guy's an idiot. All right, let's continue on here. Yeah, that is conspiracy. Like, I understand you're a victim too, but you're also an adult. And if you can escape the home to make a phone call, why didn't you escape with your kids? At least your daughter. Now, if he threatened you that he's going to hurt you, you call the cops. Why did you leave without the kids to go call the cops, leaving them to be to be victimized? But I guess she expected the cops would come right away. I don't know. I just don't understand why she wouldn't let the kid out of the kennel. I'm going to go call the cops now. You stay right there in the kennel. I'll be right back. Like, what the fuck? It's like, no, the dude's gone. Get out of that kennel. Let's get out of this house. But there's always what is it, Stockholm syndrome? Yeah, I don't go to church, but I don't know, I don't believe in church. But I definitely consider myself a Christian or trying to be a Christian. I think I can pray pretty good. I don't go around boasting about it. Thank you, D. It's that whole personal relationship thing. Sorry to hear that, Sparky. Glad you made it out. Okay, let's continue on here. Where was I? Okay, their insidious online presence presents a massive hazard. Recruiters don't even need to meet face to face anymore, Ross said. Instead, they pull in unsuspecting kids over FaceTime, Zoom, or Skype. See, that reminds me of Anthony Shots right here. Even the satanic part of it all. This is a problem, Ross said. How do you, as a parent, protect your children who are going to go online and go on social media? How do you monitor that? How do you protect your family? Honestly, you just got to sit down and talk with them. You can't talk at them. You know, you have to show respect, and you'll get honesty in return. Well, at least in my case with my oldest. We all need to be much more aware of what's going on online and social media. And that's what a lot of my channel is dedicated to, right, guys? Awareness. If we can be aware of these things that are going on, as hard as they are to believe and fathom, being normal people who wake up and do our day-to-day stuff, just try to get our home in order, make sure our jobs and our careers are good to go, futures are being protected for our children. You know, we're just going through life normally, unaware that the man next to you in the other vehicle or walking beside you at the mall or the grocery store is a pedophile, is somebody who could be the very next day reaching out to your own child and making them feel awful about themselves. Because what they do is they trick them into sending them CSAM, which is child sexual material. And then once they do, they kind of tell them who they really are. Like, hey, look, I know you think I'm this cute Anthony Shots guy, but look, I'm really this ugly Keegan Klein character. And if you don't do what I tell you, I'm going to show all of these photos that you sent me. I'm going to send them to your family and your friends. I'm going to post them online. So now these children go into a depression, and a lot of times they inflict harm on themselves. Pure evil. The recruiting efforts have attracted disaffected young men, several of whom were later convicted of terror offenses in the UK, according to the ISD. They in turn often target vulnerable youth, specifically LGBTQ plus minors, racial minorities of those with mental health issues, and manipulate them into recording heinous acts. That can be someone who has lost their job, is going through a difficult divorce, has chronic illness, Ross said. They're not doing well in school, someone close to them died, or it can be someone struggling with their sexuality in the LGBTQ community. If there was one narrative, it's I was going through this difficult time, I was unhappy, and at that point, someone approached me and told me about this group or movement they said can be helpful. He continued. The group's wild beliefs, which are typically shared by offshoots like 764, also promote and celebrate rape, pedophilia, and murder as ways to shatter societal norms. So anything bad they'll do, they're the opposite of good. You know, good is you wake up in the morning, you thank God for another day, you kiss your children, you're thankful for your job, you're thankful for everything you have, you're thankful for your health. And on the other hand, evil is I want to destroy somebody's health. I don't care if I live or die. I'm living in filth. I have no family value or morals. It's the complete opposite. Almeida, the young man from Queens convicted of being a felon with a firearm, appears to fit the mold. Investigators uncovered 764 when they were searching through Almeida's social media post, which were so shocking that the feds filed a superseding indictment that tacked on charges of child exploitation and enticement of minors. When authorities parsed through his home, they allegedly found hundreds of child sex abuse files on 4 different devices. That sounds very familiar, as well as books about O9A. Write that down. O9A and Satanism, court documents said. They also found a blood covenant. That's this right here. An O9A drawing of a hooded figure. It's not a hooded figure. That's the Zodiac killer. A hooded figure surrounded by the group's symbols and smeared with what appears to be blood. Well, hopefully they did a DNA check on that. That could be a victim's blood. Federal prosecutors have also accused Almeida of trying to lure 2 underage girls into having sex, one of whom he allegedly targeted so he could make his own kiddie porn, according to the indictment. His trial begins December 4th. If convicted, he could spend the rest of his life behind bars. What do you mean could? Hey, what's up, Mandy? Yeah, this is nuts, man. I wouldn't doubt it if Keegan Klein was into some kind of shit like this. Triple trine. Yeah, so 9 angles would basically be 3 triangles, right? True Crime Housewife. Leave a comment. We'll catch you on the replay. It's very upsetting. These people live to defile. Howard Cook, hello. When you remain silent in the face of abuse, it's unconsciously joining the side of the oppressor. Stephanie says, people who molest animals will do it to children. Both is horrendous. Oh, yeah. That's why when I see behavior like this, in my mind, there's other crimes. There's rape, there's murder. If this is how you live day to day, imagine what you do when you're out there and pissed off. Your home is hell. You live in hell. So you're going to go out and cause hell. Yeah, that kind of reminds me, Beach Fairy, of the documentary Don't Mess with Cats. I think he was making videos like that, crushing videos. We don't know a whole lot about Rick Allen, Stephanie. You know, and I think that's for a reason. Like, you can hide in plain sight, but if you have your Facebook filled with all kinds of weird shit, you're necessarily not really hiding in plain sight. You're hiding and waving a flag, right? So that's kind of like Brad Holder. He's not hiding in plain sight. He's rubbing it in the face of everybody. You know? So it's almost like if he did have anything to do with it, he knows nobody can do anything about it. Otherwise, why would he leave his Facebook up and all that stuff? Richard Allen is the complete opposite. You know, he wiped away any information about his past, and he did it strategically. To me, that shows signs of guilt. Sorry to hear that, Howard. Well, it's just hard, Beach Fairy, because people are blind today. They don't believe what they see. They just want to be part of some mob. And whatever that mob believes is what they'll believe. And they'll ignore the truth. Triggering? Nope. The good old cat. Oh, yeah, the cast iron skillet. Turn it sideways. The Pink Sisters pray for us around the clock, and they're being praying since 1920. This is why. The Pink Sisters. What's that? Reminds me of the movie Grease. Jerry, good to see you. We as a society need all the prayers we can get. Yeah, we do. But most importantly, we need personal responsibility. If everybody would just take care of themselves and just take the responsibility of not hurting others today, and then do your best tomorrow to do the same thing, if we can all personally make that decision, the world would be a better place. But the truth is, some of these souls are tormented. You know, it's passed down from generation to generation, evil. And sometimes people are just born that way, and they're the start of a long chain of evil. So just take that personal responsibility to not be evil. I mean, look at this shit. Looks like he printed this online. And what's really crazy is they have the height. Why would they have the height here? 5'11". Like, what does that mean? These crazy symbols and shit. Oh, there's an author signature on here. 10/24/69, 68. What does that look like? 69? Oh, thank you, sweets. Do you know what time? 1:30 Eastern time. Okay, so that's like in what, 20 minutes? Maybe we can watch it. Yeah, it is a spiritual battle. 100% Boston. Good versus evil. It's really that simple. It's those people who didn't create themselves, yet they think they're gods. I am a god. No, you're not. Did you create yourself? Where'd you come from, buddy? Yeah, so if you're just an evil person, you're going to join anything evil. I mean, this guy's part of some kind of neo-Nazi group, and he's not white or Aryan. I think he's Puerto Rican. But being a Nazi means you're being a bad. You know, you're doing something bad and evil. Self-deprivation. Stephanie, how did these people get away with torturing children and animals? Because nobody's doing anything. Nobody's checking on the kids. We don't have any cops. We don't have any investigators out there. And nobody's doing anything about it. People aren't standing up. People are afraid to speak. Cops are quitting their jobs. I'm not saying the cops are good or anything. Trust me. I've been abused by police. I've been beaten by cops. Trust me, whenever I think about this story of what happened to me and how this cop tried to kill me, he literally tried to kill me. He wanted to kill me. And he didn't even arrest me. He found out that I had a warrant for littering and dumped me in another city 40 miles away and let them arrest me. After he told me he was going to shoot me if I didn't do what he told me to do. Even the other cops that showed up said what he was doing was wrong and that he was violating my rights. So I call it the 1 out of 10, you guys. 1 out of 10. No matter what group you're looking at, 1 out of 10 is going to be an evil piece of shit. And I've been treated poorly by cops just for being a street kid, you know? Somebody who runs around with gangs and just looks like a bad person, you know? But when this scenario happened, I was just a normal Joe, full-time worker. I was changing my truck tire, wasn't driving. I was literally sitting on the ground changing my tire, and a cop came into a gated community that I was living in at the time and decided to assault me and basically threaten to murder me if I didn't show him my license. Well, I couldn't show him my license because my license was in my home, and inside my home were 4 of my good friends, and the whole place was filled with smoke. And marijuana wasn't legal in my state at that time. So I couldn't go get my ID, but there was no reason for him to ask me for my ID. What he was doing was violating my rights. He wanted to kill me. So I don't have any kind of like weird trust in law enforcement, but you have to trust them. It's their duty to follow up on these crimes, to make the arrest and to do the investigation. You have to help them with that. But 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10 school teachers is an evil person. 1 out of 10 firefighters, evil. It's the rule. 1 out of 10. Okay, so I got one more story for you guys.
A U.S. Army soldier facing charges.
Yep, and they get to hide behind the Constitution. They abuse it and then they hide behind it. But it's not everybody, you know? It's not everybody. Okay, I think this case was out of 2022, and it's involving that group. What is it, 9 Angles or something like that? Let's take a look here. Look at the look on that lady's face. I caught her at the wrong time. There you go. It's not any better. There you go. She's got a nice haircut. She has my haircut. Except she's got more poof on the top. Hey, what's up, Brad from Outside of the Grid YouTube channel? Great podcast. What are you up to? He deserves a firing squad. Oh, but what about the satanic panic? Things are a little bit different, right? Beach Fairy says even Satanists wouldn't stand for this shit, believe it or not. Yeah, there's different types of Satanists. There's Satanists who believe in being good people. They're just kind of anti-religion, right? Using the word Satanism is just more of a political term. You know, they're against the established religious movements and loving thyself type of thing. But the truth is, when you get into that kind of Satanism, it'll lead you down a darker path, whether you know it or not, but that's the energy that you're inviting. Well, yeah, prisons are a business. Speculation. Whenever you have a business, you're going to have product, right? If you're in the business of having prisoners, you're going to have a long line of them. If you're in the business of, let's say, helping people, you're probably going to go around hurting people. Otherwise, you're not going to have any customers. Goes back to the whole military industrial complex thing. If you don't like war, stop making it so what's the word I'm looking for? Profitable. As soon as you take the profit out of war, you won't have it. Take the profit out of anything and nobody's motivated to do it. Hey, Mel, what's up? Good to see you. Later, Sparky. We're almost out of here anyway. We got another 15 minutes and we're going to bounce. There are some weird MFers out there for sure. I mean, think about it. You have a guy who knows that little children just love puppies, right? So then in their mind, they're like, well, I'm going to use a puppy to lure this child. I mean, just think about how evil that is. Even the mindset. How evil that is. Knowing damn well that you're going to hurt this person, you're going to hurt their family, and you just do not care. Yeah, Boston. A lot of these huge companies, Boston says CSAM is growing at such a rate now due to the internet. They have got to get a grip on it and stop it immediately. The internet has put our children in danger more so every day. And there's some big companies that are doing it, doing something about it, reporting it when they see it. But oftentimes, a lot of these huge companies, I wouldn't doubt it if they weren't involved in a lot of this shit. The reason that it's so rampant is because I think there is a vast conspiracy when it comes to CSAM material, high-ranking officials. It's the whole Epstein Island thing, you know? Powerful people being blackmailed. part of secret societies behind the scenes, an unseen loyalty to a brother, quote unquote. I agree with that speculation. Redemption is there for anyone. Thank you, speculation. So are you. All right. I think I'm caught up, guys. True crime and other stuff. How about politicians? No, it's more like 9 and 10 with politicians. Stephanie says we're in the end times. Well, we're all facing the end times, you know. Once your life is over, that's the end of the world probably for you, you know. So every day people are facing the end of the world. They're facing Armageddon every day. Because there's that whoever that devil is walking around the earth who wants to destroy their family and their life. You never know when you're going to cross those paths, you know. All right, let's take a look at this. This one is somewhat related to one of these satanic groups, neo-Nazi groups. Let's watch this.
Of giving classified military information to a white supremacist group overseas. NBC News Justice correspondent Pete Williams is covering this story. And Pete, what can you tell us about this case?
Well, the FBI and the Army considers this extremely serious, and the soldier who's been arrested here faces a potential life in prison if he's convicted, a sentence of life in prison. His name is Ethan Phelan Melzer. He's 22 years old from Louisville, Kentucky. He's an Army private. He joined the Army in 2018, and according to criminal charges that have been filed in New York, he began to communicate on a website that's known to be used by followers of an obscure, fringy, white supremacist, neo-Nazi satanic group called the Order of the Nine Angles, O9A, and
O9A.
Another group that followed this, and they say
we're going to look into that. We're going to do a follow-up on all this shit. So hopefully you guys go do some digging. And if you find anything, shoot me an email and we'll talk about it.
Based on his own racism and his own hatred, he began to discuss on this chat room that he was in a military unit in Italy that would soon be deploying to Turkey, and in essence said, I'm going to tell you when we're going to go there so that you can arrange for jihadists to attack our unit when we're on the way to a military base in Turkey. Now, the FBI then began to talk with him, a confidential informant, someone he was communicating with that he did not realize was working with the FBI, and they began to discuss these details in a sort of message-to-message situation. Mm-hmm. And finally, he was arrested on June 10th, and according to these court documents, the FBI says that he confessed and admitted that he did all of this. So he's been charged. He's come back to New York. And he was facing charges today, will be facing charges in federal court in Manhattan.
It's a U.S. Army soldier.
Yeah, that's crazy. I tried to pull some images from this group. Let me give you an idea what these nuts look like. Order of the Nine Angles. See, I just don't understand. How do you get to this point where you're just doing this shit alone in your room, casting spells, praying to Satan? Yeah, I wish we had more time. We got 5 more minutes. Is that a spin-off order from Odinism? No. But one thing I'm noticing is that people that are into like Satanism and they try to cast spells, they will use some of that they'll use runes and things like that within that spell. So it's all like some type of weird bastardization. Yeah, 9 is synonymous with 3. 3, 3, 3 is 9. That's all corners of the triangle. And the triangle 60 degrees, 666. Yeah, numerology definitely plays a big part for these guys. All right, guys, that's pretty much all the time we have here. If you could hit the like button on the way out. Replay crew, leave a comment. We'll get back to you. Let me know what you think about today's live stream. All you watching today, consider becoming a member. We get together every Wednesday. We've been doing Members' Choice. That's been going quite well. Learning a lot about a lot of these new cases. But most importantly, we're bringing awareness. You can't do anything until you pass that step, right? You have to first become aware of the situation. Then you can do something about it. Yeah, that's what's going on. Maybe there's a little bit of mental health going on, and they're just hoping for something to take away the pain or to be a part of something. And if they're bathing in that negativity, they're going to be drawn to negative things. Nazism, Satanism, any kind of fringe group where they can be part of it, regardless if they're hurting people or not. Yep, numbers, symbols, rituals. So you guys, what I guess the moral of today's live stream is that Satanism and CSAM go hand in hand. It's all part of the same thing. Whether these creeps know it or not, they're doing the devil's work. Cold Truth's talking about Brian James. Says here, he's the leader of the now American Guard. We've been hearing about the American Guard since they mentioned Brad Holder. He was formerly SOD. What's SOD? Started the Vinlanders on and on. His probates came up in the memorandum. Thank you, Speculation. Appreciate that. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section, what you thought about today's live stream, the stories that were discussed. And if you have any information to follow up on, shoot me an email at sleuthintuition@gmail.com, and we will get into it. Oh, is that the Sons of Odin? See, that's the group that I've been familiar with since I've been looking into the Delphi murders. That name has come up a lot. And one of my first conspiracy theories that I kind of got stuck on was the whole Masonic thing. So I think Brad Holder being involved with the Masons and who else? Who else is a Freemason? I think the prosecutor, Nick McClellan, might be a Freemason. So when you see that connection, everybody's like, "Oh, corruption!" That's why he's not afraid to get arrested, because he's a Freemason, and the people prosecuting the case are Freemasons. It just doesn't work that way, guys. These are all low level characters here. Original Badass, good to see you. The Dark One only has as much power as we are willing to give him. Yes, they're truthfully powerless. If you're wearing your armor and you have that true connection with the goodness that's in the world, there's nothing that could hurt you. Even when you think you're being hurt, you're not being hurt. Yep, 1 out of 10. There you go. What's going on, Beach Fairy? Better fix those AirPods. Sons is a different group than Soldiers of Odin. Oh, is that what the SOD is? Sons are more a prison thing. Okay, thank you. Okay, let me see if I can find that speculation. Or who posted that? Sweets, sorry. I wanted to end on that. Yep, nothing showing here on my end. Yep, I don't see anything here yet. Bikers, truckers. Well, the thing about Freemasonry is if you're into a lot of weird shit, that's a good place to go hide, you know? I mean, that's why it was created to begin with, because you couldn't publicly just be a free person. You know, you had the church to worry about, powerful people. So if you were into some weird shit, you would need a safe place to practice. And because of their codes and their secret language and their signs, a lot of bad people would use that as their cover. And if they got into some shit, they would have friends and brothers, quote unquote brothers, that would get their back. All right, guys, that is our time. We are at the 1 hour and a half mark. Shout out to everybody who participated in the live stream and all you replay crewers out there. Shout out to you. Leave a comment and we will get back to you. Ooh, that sounds yummy. All right, guys, you enjoy the rest of your day. And members, keep a lookout. We're going to start getting our members meeting for Wednesday organized. So let me know what you guys want to cover. And I'll put something together for you guys so we can have a really good conversation. All righty. Thanks again for all of you who caught the live stream. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.